What is up, Planeswalkers? Grixis, and if you'll just sign here on the dotted line, I'll take your soul. Anyway, Grixis back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Just throw some things around. I know there's a pencil, whatever. Of course, I do hope you head over to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal. It helps support the show, and it doesn't cost your soul, which is very nice. And why are we talking about signing over your soul? Because today we are playing some Orzhov based on the votes that were given to me when I asked which of the guild bundles should I make first and put a deck to. So I do have a few things to talk about first. The first one I'll say is Scorpion God is now completed, and you will see a deck tech from that at some point. I don't know if I'll have it up tomorrow or if I'll have it up the following day, because I believe tomorrow an event starts. So I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be, but yeah. And then, of course, I will at some point play it on Dark Souls, depending on exactly how many episodes I will be on in the near future. And then I want to remind everyone of this ongoing contest. If you can guess my favored guild icon order, not the favored guilds, but the guild icon order, then you will win something. We as a channel have not figured out what exactly that's going to be yet, but the hints that I've given so far are that the first, my most favorite icon, is the Orzhov symbol. The last of the icons, my least favorite, is the Golgari symbol. And then symbols 5 and 6 are the Simic symbol, as well as the Azorius symbol. So, yes, take that as you shall. And today, the decision that I'm doing Orzhov was won by, I think, 2 more votes than the next one, which I think was Demir. But yes, so we are going to really quickly... I've already put the deck together, but I've not actually gone to the store and bought the thing because I figured some people might want to see that for some reason. I don't know. So we're going to go over here, just go with one of these. Woo! Cool.
I'm gonna make you suffer.
Kaya, when I first saw Kaya from, I have to go here first. When I first saw Kaya from the
I like a good fight.
OG place where she came from, I didn't like her that much. She's cool though. I've grown to enjoy her. Then we're gonna go over here, gonna go one of these. Oh, look at the coins. Vikera would be proud. So today we're playing an Orzhov themed deck, and I've played several like these. I've played many of these cards together before. Oh, wait a minute. How do I? Nope. That is not how I do that. Can I? I thought they would automatically do it. I'm dumb. Let's go here. Let's go to show owned. It's not gonna do what I wanted it to. Thank you. So select. Oh, they're here now. Cool. Oh, but I don't have that one. Oh, okay. So that's something I didn't know. If you make a deck and you have anything that you could do in it, then it will be in it. Okay, cool. Mortify I don't get. Seraph I don't get. No, Teysa I do get. Cool. So, as you can see, there are several more things you can go through. And what I noticed as well is when you are in, let's see, not collected, and let's not do this. Let us see the first not collected thing. So sure. So we can actually go here, and you'll see the craft thing. I right-clicked, by the way. And then you can hit this, and it'll say there are no card tiles for this currently, but you can just swap back and forth if you are curious. So this is our deck currently. I wonder if this changes anything. I assume it doesn't. No. Okay, so, as I said, we're playing Orzhov. It's pretty much just like a mid-range deck that we're trying to leverage some of the afterlife mechanics and things like that. So, we run 4 Hunted Witnesses because of the fact that this is functionally an afterlife card. The difference is we're trading off the flying for some lifelink, but it is a nice early drop against aggro. We're then playing 4 Tithe Takers, 4 Orzhov Enforcers, and 2 Imperious Oligarchs. The reason I went with a split is because Tithe Taker is relatively aggressive, and Orzhov Enforcer is relatively defensive, so I really wanted 4 and 4 of each of these for those various matchups. And then Imperious Oligarch is kind of a mixture of both, in that you can get in, since she does have 2 power, but she also stays back to block because she has Vigilance, so that's very nice. But the fact that she is white-black instead of just one and the other means that she is technically a little bit harder to cast, so that's why I went with a 4-4-2 split. Next up, we have our 3-drop spot. We have 3 Ministrant of Obligations, 3 Midnight Reapers. Technically, you could probably argue for more Ministrants, but I wanted, since this is a white-black deck, I really wanted to make sure I had some sort of card draw in here, just so I was able to not fall too far behind. So that is why I went with 3 and 3 split, because Obligation is a fantastic card. The fact that it gives you functionally, what, 4-3 worth of stats, 2 of which have flying, 2 of which have flying for 3 mana is very helpful, and it works with the rest of our deck. 3 Midnight Reapers. A lot of our stuff's going to die, so we have Midnight Reaper to get some advantage out of that, which is really helpful. And when Teysa's on the field, we get to double it. Oh, that looks so good. 2 Kayas. We're running 2 Kayas because Kaya's actually pretty decent right now. I went up against an Esper control deck that had Search for Asketa out, and I was able to resolve a Kaya, and they really just weren't able to fill up their graveyard at all. And at some point, Kaya was able to kill my opponent, even if they had something like Shadow Wreckage. I just -5 first. So she's very helpful there. Her -1 can be helpful against the super aggressive decks, the really 1-drop heavy mono red decks, as well as the mono white and mono blue decks. But other than that, she really excels at exiling things from the graveyard to hit things like Sultai control, or Sultai midrange, as well as just gaining you some life from those aggressive decks. 3 Mortifies, because we need removal, and this is pretty good dang removal. 3 Seraph of Scales and 3 Teysas. The reason I'm running 3 and 3 here is because Teysa is the guild leader, so I wanted some decent chance of me actually seeing her in the game, as well as the fact that she's legendary, so I don't want 4. 3 Seraph of Scales because we don't want to overclog our 4-drop slot. That's pretty much it, but otherwise she is a fantastic card by herself, as well as with Teysa and Divine Visitation and things. 3 Vraska Contempt. As I said, we need some amount of removal, and this puts us up to 6, which is possibly a little too low, but if you kind of count Kaya as like half of one, then it's like maybe 7, so this also has Death Touch, and this can get Death Touch, and this kind of removes things, so it's, you know, it's like in there. But yeah, Vraska Contempt, it helps. 2 Divine Visitation and 1 Ethereal Absolution. Why am I playing these cards? Well, I'm playing these cards because I like them both, and I want to, essentially. The payoff for getting Divine Visitation on the board means that whenever one of your afterlife creatures dies, you get a 4/4 instead of a 1/1 flyer. Unfortunately, of course, it is no longer a multicolored card, but it is a 4/4. More valuable in this deck. And then Ethereal Absolution. I just really like this card. I want to play with more. Don't at me. This is our mana base. We have relatively similar like mana cost distributions. It looks as if they've brought this back, which is cool. I think they should just ignore multicolored cards for the sake of this. I guess not, because then you have like 3 color decks and stuff. Whatever. But yeah, I mean this helps, and we functionally have very similar. I will say that stop it. There really should be a way to put a card back in this view. What I wanted to say is that we're running 23 lands. Now, there are problems with something going on here. I don't know what it is, but, you know what, I'm too high. Shut up. There we go. Just totally break the immersion. There have been some problems in my testing of this. All of my losses were because I either flooded or screwed. I'm not lying. Jesus is my mana. That's funny. So, this is a keepable hand, but it showcases something. I have not had a single 3-land hand in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In my 8 practice games. I will say that that's not too irregular, but I had one. This is actually my second. I had one hand that had 4 lands, and then the rest were all 2-landers. And I kept many of them, and I'll talk about them, but I don't think I'm actually going to include any of my practice games. I don't think it would be fair if I just excluded some of the wind practice games. So I'm just going to choose not to include any of them. I wonder. Oh, cool. It does. Oh, that's cool. It does a little sparkle and shows me the number. Oh, they made that like easier to see. They outlined it. That's cool. But it has to attack and block each turn, if able. And you're seeing kind of the problem I had. I kept a 4-lander, right? So I drew 2 lands in a row. But yeah, I mean, this is just what has been happening for some reason. And I really don't understand why. For whatever reason, I've either just been, like, heavily... Like, there's some extent of mana flood and stuff. And there's some, like, amount of times you're going to be mana screwed. I'm not going to block this. I have Seraph of Scales. I mean, I have Seraph of Scales into Divine Visitation, so, like, we're fine with that because we actually have stuff to do. I do wish we had a 3-drop, but whatever. But yeah, with 23 lands, we got screwed over so many times. I'm constantly, like, triple checking that I'm connected to the dang internet. Okay, thank you. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I meant to do something. I'll do it after this game. I promise. I'm going to put it in the timestamp as well because I'm certain many people have not realized this. That was a oops. I did it oops. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play Seraph of Scales now. So that has Menace, so I can actually block here, but I can't block here, but I won't because we have Divine Visitation, and I'm fine taking 5. So it looks like I guess we're on against Naya Dinos, not Nina Dinos. Rhythm of the Wild seems decent. Frightening, but decent. Oh, my opponent may not have realized that... Oh well. Divine Visitation. Thank you. No need to attack, because we can block and have a large number of angels. Our Naya opponent definitely has access, potentially, to some form of removal. I didn't expect that, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm gonna block this now. Well, that's awkward. It's fine. Whatever. Too many lands. But I'm going to just pass the turn. I can block here, and I can block here. Double block, I should say. So we're not, you know, we're not in a terrible spot. I really thought we were against Naya Dinos, and apparently we're just against Naya Midrange. For what it's worth... Oh, fudge off. For what it's worth, is doing well. Nope. I want to remind you I have 23 lands. Alright, so I guess at this point we're going to start talking about my games, because all of them are bad. For what it's worth, I actually lost this one. I don't think the flood was too bad, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, it's worse than I thought it was. We've drawn over half lands. Yeah, we're just gonna go and concede. Darn. Well, that's really... Let's use the word annoying. The Kai does look cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. I might be Kai a while. Because she's Orzhoven, or whatever. So, I did forget to mention that there is another code that you can redeem. I'm going to type and hope that it's not too loud for all of you. But it is Starter Styles. Starter Styles. And I do believe it has to be all caps. And I do believe it has to be like this. And you get these things. So you get these, and I believe these are from the new play experience. So if you've done the new play experience, I think this is where these come from. And then if you are a player who's already done the new play experience before they revamped it, this is essentially what you're supposed to be getting. Apparently they're supposed to email us, but yeah, that didn't happen. At least I didn't get an email. And then you do get a free, cool black card back. I actually like this card back a lot. As a free card back, I think it's totally, I think it's legit. I think it's totally reasonable. Let's go back into the game. I need to take a sip of apple juice because my throat is hoarse from yelling at my computer. I'm kidding, of course, I didn't actually yell that much. I may have used a few uncouth words. Tango Echo. I guess his name is T. So this is what I mean, right? Like, I want to keep this hand. Because we have, like, 3s and 4s. All we need to do is draw lands. And with 23 lands, it is a... Going first, it is a 92% chance to have a 3-drop, or a third land by turn 3. I'm keeping it. I can't wait to be sad, but I'm keeping it. It's like we have all the good, the important cards. We have the Orzhov girls. Was there another Orzhov card? I don't remember. I know it was these two. I feel bad. I don't remember if there was another member of the Orzhov. So, our first game was against Gates, and we had a pretty good curve. We went, like, turn 1 Hunted Witness, into turn 2 Orzhov Enforcer, into turn 3... I'm scared. Into turn 3 Midnight Reaper. So they kind of conceded before they even got a chance to, or like before they played a Gates Ablaze, but my hand was pretty stacked. Then we went against Abzan. I don't really know what kind of Abzan it was, because I kept a 2-lander on the draw. As I said, I believe all of these games were draws. So I kept a 2-lander on the draw. I played my 2-drop. I think actually that game I had a 1-drop and a 2-drop. So I played my 1-drop. I played my 2-drop. I didn't draw land. I didn't draw land. And then on the third turn of me not drawing a land, I conceded. Because I wanted to get practice in, not do nothing. Oh, Godless Shrine, thank you. So they could have Spell Pierce, they could have Essence Capture. I would rather them Essence Capture now, since they don't have something on board. I assume this is mono blue. Oh, that's dumb. They did that for that, but not this. Why? Outline this too. What? Why would you ever do that? That makes no sense. Like, actually, why? Oh, whatever. Sure. Opt away. Next game was against Orzhov Control. How do I know it was Orzhov Control? Because I believe they duress me on turn 1, and then they Moment of Craving me on turn 2. Also, once again, I kept a 2-lander. Again, I was going second, but this time, this was when I had 24 lands in the deck. I didn't draw a third land for 4 turns. So as I said, once again, I conceded. Next game, which against Orzhov tokens, I destroyed them. But I think that was the one game that I actually got 3 lands in my hand. So we're gonna cast Kaya. It's probably gonna get counterspelled, and then we're gonna attack our opponent. Because if it does get counterspelled, that means they can't have a Merfolk card that flashes in. I can see the Merfolk Trickster. There we go. I can see the name. I can see the art, but not the name. So Kaya will die.
I can get rid of anything.
If I -1. If I +1, she wouldn't technically die unless my opponent put a Curious Obsession on something like Terramander, but then they wouldn't get the card draw from it. And if I draw another damn land, then I would be able to get rid of it. I assume my opponent does have Dive Down, so what I'm going to do is actually just exile these, since it also forces their Terramander to not be in as good of a position. And I'm not going to try an attack. I assume my opponent might flash it in first, which is incorrect. If my opponent wants to catch me, they should wait until I declare an attack. But I'm going to not attack, and based on the fact that they had something to do, they almost certainly have Trickster here. Or not. Maybe I'm just stupid and wrong. That said, playing around it, totally fine. I didn't need that 3 damage, I don't think. Can I, like, draw a land? Are you going to attack Kaya? No. That's interesting. That lack of attack is very interesting. So what I feel like I want to do now is minus on the Kaya to see if they have protection for it. And then, since their shields would be slightly more down, not fully, but slightly, I might try and cast Teysa. Actually, I think it would be better just for me to hold up a Vraska's Contempt. Or I can Contempt them in response to this, if they are trying to dive this down. Dive down. Is it correct to Vraska's Contempt now in response, or wait? So that mana on their turn is used. I think I'm going to wait. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait. Could be dumb, could be wrong. Yeah. Let's see. After Orzhov tokens with Sultai Midrange, that was, as I said, still when I had 24 lands, and I kept a 4-lander, and I drew lands 3 turns in a row. And I lost that game because they had a good curve of Wildgrowth Walker into Jadelight Ranger into double Branch Walker. So I died. I actually died. I didn't have time to concede because I just died too damn hard. My opponent and I are playing chicken right now. I love that little jingle. This one's for you, Vicaru. Pour it out for my homies. Nah. After that was Mono Red. Kept 4-lander. I had Tithe Taker. I think I had Tithe Taker, Seraph of Scales? Not entirely sure. No, it wasn't double Tithe Taker. It must have been Tithe Taker, Seraph of Scales, and something else. But I died, regardless. Cool. So they had another dive down? I can't read it because dive down's in the way. Alright, so they did have another dive down. So let's minus. Let's see if they have another dive down. Wait, are you serious? They actually have another dive down? Well, that's interesting. Okay, cool. And so since they had that resolved way too quickly, so I think that they actually have no Merfolk Trickster. So this is probably a one game. I don't know what else is in their hand. Maybe Essence Captures? I mean, triple dive down. I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea what my opponent could be on. And then the last game was Esper Control. I was stuck on 3. I kept a 2-lander, and I was able to get another land. But then I was stuck on 3. But guess what? I still won because I beat Esper to death. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to cast Seraph the Scales. We're going to do that after I'm dumb. I should have played Karlov for... Well, I was going to say I should have played Karlov first, because then if they play a Trickster at instant speed, then I can actually draw more cards. But I was like, oh wait, Trickster would mean I wouldn't get access to stuff. Which card do we value more? We value Seraph more, so I'm actually going to put Teysa down first. If we can get Ethereal Absolution to resolve, that would probably mean the game, because they would only have like 8 cards in their deck that they can actually utilize. This might be an Into the Royal. Cancer's Insight? Mono Blue doesn't usually play this, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Well, I'm crazy. But I'm not that crazy. Oh my gosh. Surge Mare. Okay, I've seen more of the decks run Surge Mare. So I guess I did forget that Ethereal Absolution doesn't technically just auto-win me the game. So my guess, this is just a guess, is that they indeed do have... That's another fun thing I like doing, is exiling Chemist's Insights. So now my opponent has to choose whether or not to use their Chemisters or have mana up. Looks like they're going to use it. So, that was value to me. And now, they don't have mana for Essence Capture, so I can resolve my Seraph Scales. And they can make this a 2/3. So I'm totally fine just attacking with both of these here. I would like to attack, please. I would like to go into the red zone. Opponent. Would like to attack. Thank you. By the way, when I'm going over here, it's because I'm trying to get to OBS. Just to double check things. I mean, it's just like on screen. I can just literally look at it right now. That's why when I look over here, I'm looking at OBS. But... does this sound effect like too loud to anyone else? That seemed way too loud to me. Whatever. I need to work out. I mean, it's not that easy. I have like a really high metabolism. I'll keep this 2-lander because I have 4 plays. And we're going second. But I have like, my metabolism is fast. And it's already like, this is a controversial statement every time I say it. I don't like eating. That's not to say I dislike eating, right? I'm fine with eating. It's just I don't like seek it out, if that makes any sense. So I'll be in situations where like I'm eating lunch and like I'll finish my lunch, but after my lunch I'm like good until dinner. Like I'm not a person who snacks unless I'm like incredibly bored. I will block this because I assume this is like a Sacdos. That is sacrificial Rakdos. And I think Tithe Taker is technically a little bit better than Orzhov Enforcer, because Enforcer kills things. Whatever, I actually don't care. I'm just waiting for mana at this point. And like, it really showcases how dumb this is, because one of the other games was just like Flood, and then this one is just going to be screw it. Like, you could argue that I should be mulliganing 2-land hands, but I literally had, I still do, several plays that I can make. It's just going to be frustrating if I draw like Ethereal Absolution into Kaya, into etc, etc. So, yeah, it looks like it is a Rakdos deck. Not actually Sacdos, but, you know, Rakdos still. Cool. Aggressive Rakdos, Rakdos midrange. Either or makes sense. I would absolutely block the Gutter Bones. I have no issue blocking the Gutter Bones, thank you. It's fine. It's fine. We're totally doing fine. No attacks. No attacks. Who needs attacks? I hate everything. Was there any other things that I needed to talk about? No, I don't think so. I believe that that code, which again, crap. I literally just closed the thing. Oh, it is Sacdos. Oh. Well, hello there. But it does cost mana for them to do... Whatever, Tithe Taker, sure. I don't understand what I've done to deserve this. What did I do to deserve all of you? Hey, 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 Jesse, bad boy. I'm not gonna sing the rest of that song. Coheed and Cambria. There's like a meme of like a pink house right next to a, like an all black house, and it's like Coheed and Cambria, sound pink house, lyrics black house. Oh goodness me. Oh no, whatever will I do? My opponent can play a 5-drop, and I can play nothing because I haven't drawn any lands.
Never seen water burn.
I'm sorry, Angrath, I'm not happy to see. Why would you ever plus there? I can just kill your Angrath now. Right? Like, okay. If you went to... Okay, I'm dumb, sorry. For some reason, I thought he started out with 5 loyalty. I have no idea why. I'm just a dumb lord. That said... Where's my mana? I've gone through... What, 12 cards? No, 20... No, 12. Yes, 12 cards. And only 2 of them have been lands? There's no way you're gonna sacrifice a Legion War Boss and that. Why would you... Ah, they did the oops. Okay. Got him. Can I just draw like 2 lands? I'll take 2 shock lands. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate this so much. We're gonna double attack with Tithe Taker because we need to get some damage in. Our opponent isn't gonna block here. Luckily, because we were playing Afterlife, we're able to just block things all day long. We can block these all day because of the fact that they are 1/1s. Why didn't I block with this before? What? I'm a little confused. Sure, that's fine. There's no way you attack with War Boss, right? No. All blocked. Don't hate it.
This will be child's play.
Delicious and yoink.
Back to the devil's chains in the storm-wrecked sea I go.
Goddamn, Angrath is awesome. No attacks. No attacks. I would have liked to have Teysa out, so these would go insane. I think I would have handily won this had I just drawn one more additional land to this. One more land is all I would have needed for the entire game. Because, like, I would have had Vraska's Contempt on the Judith. I'd be able to block this with impunity. And have Teysa come down. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm incredibly disappointed. That said, things are doing well. I recently got my Cog Psych midterm back. And, needless to say, I did well. I got a sweet, I think it was mid-A. Yeah, the thing is, if I block any of those, Kaya still dies anyway. So, have fun completely butchering Kaya. Bye.
You better watch your back from here on out.
I do have some sideboard cards that I would like to talk about at the end of the video. How close are we? 31? I'll probably end up playing another game after this one. Because I want to, also. Oh my goodness me, it's a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pings. I'm really afraid that they're going to be able to kill my own Teysa. Like, an argument could be made. An argument could be made to Vraska's Contempt the Judith, but they might have another Judith in. Shut the hell up, dude. They might have another Judith in hand. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this. Just gonna try for my value. Oh, also, I'm Teysa now. Ooh, I'm Teysa. Ow. Completely uncalled for. Really? This doesn't kill me though, does it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck off. Lost that game because of lands. No, 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 no. I am not a fan. I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna be too loud anyway. I can't get over Kai's dope outfit. Okay, 3 lands. Spells I can cast. We're keeping it. We're going first. Need 1 more black source, and then nothing but gas. Straight gas. Tell him man's not hot. Is this like a new thing that people love playing? I'm very confused. This one might be mono black. I know I've seen a few people playing mono black aggro recently. Burglar Rat. I kind of want to keep Resting Contempt since we don't actually have a ton of removal. I'll just drop Tithe Taker. Yeah, I'll just drop Tithe Taker. Why did I attack with this? Actually, why? I'll take this lump. This is Vigilance anyway. Obligation. I shouldn't have played that first, but I'll definitely attack with this. I might get blocked here, but that's fine. I'll end up blocking this here. I would love to top deck Teysa next turn. Seraph is also nice. You know. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that outcome. Yeah. So down on resources. Oh, I guess I got discarded. Oh, I guess I also win first. All right, fair. Plague Crafter. It's an interesting choice. Oh, well, I'm playing Midnight Reaper. Seasons don't fear the Reaper. No to the wind or the sun or the rain. You could be like they are. Come on, man. Shit. Baby, don't fear the Reaper. Take my hand. Don't fear the Reaper, baby. I'm your man. Hey, look, I'll draw a card. Alright. So this isn't mono black aggro. This is like mono black mid range. Divine Visitation, not bad. I don't hate drawing a land now. Well, I'll say. I need more stuff to work with it, but this is a good... No. I didn't mean to attack there. I don't know why it did, but we won, so that's cool. Alright. I'm gonna listen to the claim. That's absolutely different, and is absolutely more annoying. Yeah, that's absolutely more annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this sweet sideboard here. So that there are a couple of really awesome sideboard options that you can play in here. These are also some cards that are technically main deckable, but that I've just put in the sideboard here. So we have, of course, Duress. This is a staple. If you are going to play this in best of 3, actually have some amount of Duress. I would suggest at least 3 in your sideboard to deal with control. Moment of Craving, once again, really good card in your sideboard against those super aggressive strategies where it's really not about your game plan per se. I would probably run at least 2. You don't really need too many because of the fact that you are running a large number of 2-drops. And against those super aggressive decks, you're probably taking out like this high end. But if you are looking for more spots, you can take out some of your 2-drops. And I would say at least 2. 3 is... Excuse me, probably better. Consecrate Consume is something that I thought about, but I just don't think it is entirely necessary. Carnage Tyrant decks are potentially going to be a bit of a problem, but I think Playcrafter is actually a little bit better in that position, just because of what our deck is exactly like. That said, Consecrate Consume is not a bad situation. You know, the issue I think is that Kaya herself does a little bit better of a job, and against decks that are heavy on, essentially like Golgari decks, you're probably going to be wanting to bring in Kaya's Wrath and Playcrafter anyway, so I think that it just is a little subpar when you consider other options. Final Payment, very similar. We don't need to pay 5 life. Like, it's not worth it to do so at the detriment, or like with the benefit of having it cost 1 less mana than Mortify, right? It's just better to run Mortify, essentially, because Mortify can also hit enchantments. Mentor of the Unique. This is something that you can run if you are looking to do something that is a little bit more low end. So if you're not running things like Divine Visitation and Ethereal Absolution, you can run Mentor of the Meek, which I would probably say run it parallel with the Midnight Reapers. I don't know what the split should be, if it should be like 3-3 or 3-2 or 2-3 or whatever. But it is a really nice, helpful card draw engine, and for what it's worth, it does draw a lot of removal. So it will make your four Zav girls cost or less likely to die. Playcrafter. I think that this is probably just a sideboard option for now because of the kind of glut we have in our 3-drop spot already, and you likely are going to be taking out some individual cards. So you take out like a Ministrant, a Midnight Reaper, maybe a Mortify, since this is also a form of removal. You probably actually only need 2 in the sideboard, but you bring this in probably against those other super value-laden decks because of the fact that you're able to justify sacrificing your creatures a lot better than they have access to just random creatures. Profane Procession is something that you could play in the sideboard. I think it's not necessary, but it's a card that's cool, and I like it. So if you can play it, absolutely do. Where you bring it in, essentially, is, once again, those super value-laden, like, mid-range strategies. Excellence Binding, once again, you can bring this in, but we do have ways of dealing with enchantments as well as planeswalkers, and there are not currently enough artifacts to really justify bringing something like Excellent Binding in. That said, if you really feel like you need more removal, then you can play a few, like 1 or 2 of these in the sideboard for those matchups like Control, where they have a ton of different planeswalkers or something. Chupacabra, I don't think you need it. I think that there are other better removal options like Playcrafter and our current removal suite. And the reason I would say you shouldn't run this instead of Contempt is purely for the fact that sometimes it's a liability to have creatures, and like all creatures essentially, instead of being able to have an instant speed removal for something. Also, this can't kill planeswalkers. Basilica Bellhound. I actually really like this card, and I really tried to put it in the deck, but the 4-drop slot was, as I said, a little bit too full. Kai's Wrath is definitely a card that you should have in the sideboard. You shouldn't run Cry the Carnarium in this deck, just because of the fact that it exiles your own stuff, so you don't get the Afterlife triggers. But you should absolutely run Kai's Wrath, and you wouldn't even really need to take out too many of your creatures because of the fact that you are going to still get value of some kind. Not only are you going to have the Afterlife value, but you're also going to be gaining life for the creatures you destroy by yourself. So this is definitely a card you bring in against the aggressive decks, as well as the super wide mid-range decks. Karn. You could play Karn. I don't want to. Lyra is helpful. But at that point, you might as well just make Orzhov Angels, really. Just throw in some resplendent Angels or whatever, and throw in some Restos. Eldritch Born. I love this card. Put it in the sideboard as a 1-of or a 2-of for mid-range and control. Immortal Sun. If you don't need it, since we have other options, but bring it in against control. It's good, it's fun. Oh man, do I want to talk about any of this other stuff? Not really. Oh, you know what? No, cancel. I would like to look at them, though. Is there a way to look at sleeves? From the deck builder? I don't think there is. I think only the ones you have show up. So it looks like those mana sleeves are essentially this card back, just instead of the 5 colors here, it is the cutout, with this specific card. And honestly, I think knowing that's, kind of reasonable if you really like the crispness. But I just think that 10,000 gold, which makes each of these, what, 5,000? No, 2,000? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. Each of these, 2,000 gold. 2,000 gold, let's see. Play. How much is this? 1,000 gold, which is 2 entries to traditional constructed. Or 1 payout. I don't know if that's worth it. Just because these are so plain, I feel like these should honestly be 1 gold each, or 1,000 gold each, or instead of it, okay, so if they were each separate, and it was 1.5, 1,500 gold each, and then the bundle was at 1,000 each, then I think it would be reasonable. But it's just such a lame cosmetic. It's not bad. It's just kind of lame. So it's I just don't think it's worth buying this over just buying entry into constructed events. Even if you're not very good, let's actually go back to the traditional constructed. Even if you're not that good, you get your money back after 2 wins, right? You can go infinite, right, at 2 wins and essentially just keep getting more and more uncommons that have a chance to be a rare. It's just better to do that. I'm very middle of the road. I think that the cosmetics in general are fine, but I think they could use a little bit of tweaking. Anyway, of course, I would like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander and Croft, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them in supporting the channel and getting a bit of a say in what I play on the show, you'll find links to that down in the description below, along with links to the Discord server where we chat and play games. I also should have mentioned that you can now hit the join button if you don't want to become a patron, and you'll get pretty much all of the same perks as the patrons do. Technically, right now you get more because of the fact that I haven't thought of anything to do for the patrons that the join people get, but there are currently no channel members, so I don't actually have to cross that bridge yet, so who cares? You will also find links to the artist's website for the thumbnail. Speaking of the thumbnail, I think what I'm going to be doing with this kind of pseudo-series is that whenever I get that specific bundle and make a deck for it, I'm going to say something that's evocative of the actual guild. So maybe it's Riot with the Ravnica. Well, Riot, I guess, is a Gruul mechanic, whatever. It's Party with the Ravnica or something. Technically, Orzhova is the Church of Deals, which is the headquarters. So maybe it technically should be Party at Rixmati or something like that. But, I'll think about it when I come to it. There is a poll on the community tab, community page thing, for whether or not I should actually go through and rank all of the avatars. Definitely go vote in on that, please. Currently, it is winning, so currently it looks like I will be voting for it. If the votes are really close, then what I'll probably do is just make it a bonus video if I can slot it in into my time schedule, if I'm able to do both. But yeah, I do, of course, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to Mana Pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, and pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends. And until next time, all be one.